tell you why here in just a second. While I'm standing here in my messy ass garage, I'm trying to clean up for the second time this week. You despise your children. You allow your children to be abused, and I would say that you even take part in abusing your children. Well, what are you talking about, Freedom? I don't even whip my kids. Hold on, we'll get to it as soon as people get in here. Yep, you hate your kids. Do. Come on, Tube. Tube. Come on, Tube. Oh, there's Liberty Check. Hey, there's Liberty Check. Okay, there's two feds and a gay note. What's up, TLR? Y'all hate your kids. We all do. You know why? If I came up to your kids and I grabbed your kid and took your kid away and put him in the cage for whatever reason I decided, you would kill me. If I walked up to your kid and had a needle with heroin in it and said, you're going to inject this in yourself, you would kill me. If I did anything to your fucking kids that we are allowing our government to do to us, which then equates to our kids because our kids are going to be the ones that have to deal with it when we're gone, you'd be like, hey, it's okay. It's cool the government does it. It's the government. I mean, the government can do what they want. If it's a person, though, why is there a difference between what a person does and what government does? I can tell you that. Everybody knows. Most people know that. Government is backed by what? Force. Force and violence. You will do this or else. But what if I say you're going to do it or else? What if I say that you're going to let me inject your kid with this heroin? Your kid would probably better shoot heroin than he would this fucking vaccine. Like, I'm sick of even being quiet about it. I'm sick of having to censor myself. I'm sick of having to use words like the jab just so YouTube don't give me a strike. I'm sick of not being I'm sick of being told of what I can and cannot say, and what information I can and cannot give my kids, or your kids for that matter, or just kids who are curious for that matter. I mean, we don't even have the ability to think for ourselves anymore. Oh no, you're not allowed to think. You have to think what government tells you to think. And if you don't think what government tells you to think, you're a threat. And that government will eliminate you. But anyway, they're able to do this because of force. What's odd about this force is that there is 330-ish million people in this country. I would bet it's way over that, though. I would bet that we're up to, I bet we're up to the 400 million range, probably. There's a lot of people that don't do censuses like that. We don't. A lot of illegals. And there's only, let's call it 3.5 million. That's just a number. It's cops, feds, military. It's everybody. It's everybody that answers to government directly for payment, immoral men collecting money to commit immoral acts. Right? What stops us? Why don't they get stopped? Why do we hate our kids so much that we let these fuckers rule our lives? We let technology rule our lives. Tell us what we can and can't say. We got to talk in code. That's some bullshit right there. Freest country in the world. We're free, and we're having talks about if we're going to need a passport to go to the next state over. Fuck you. Tell me I can't go to the next state over and watch what happens. You know, if they wanted to do, like, I'm sorry. You don't have to advertise and shove shit down people's throats that's true. I mean, you don't. People would look around and be like, whoa, wait a second, Joe Bob over here fucking fell over dead. I called a buddy of mine in Tennessee today because I'm looking for a truck, and I was like, hey, man, you got any buddies got any trucks for sale? Because he's a big diesel guy, knows a bunch of diesel guys. When I first answered the phone, I'm like, what are you doing, man? I said, I'm laid up. That means sick in Tennessee talk. I said, really, what's wrong with me? He said, I got COVID, my lungs are all fucked up, I can't hardly talk. I said, well, just call me back in a few days when you start to feel better. He's like, no, I'll talk to you. He talked to me about 5 minutes, then wound up having to get off the phone because he couldn't talk, he couldn't breathe. So something exists. Something, so there's a reason. People get the flu every year and die. So who knows? Who knows what it is? Regardless, though, I don't care if you told me that there was a 99.5% chance I was going to catch this thing and that this thing killed 99 out of every 100 people. If you told me I had to take something, I'm still not going to take it. I'm not going to take it just based on the fact that you told me I had to. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there whose minds work like mine. I'm doing what I want to do, and that's it. But I just want to know why you hate your kids. Why? Why do you hate your kids so much that we censor ourselves, we hide, we don't organize, we don't stand up for each other, we don't protect each other, we let these fuckers over uniforms rule over us? I got uniforms we can wear. Like, that's what it is. I'll throw us all in a pair of jean shorts and a t-shirt. I mean, is that what, like, why? I don't understand. If I watch, like, on this street, with the exception of one house, nobody does anything. I know for sure 2 houses sell drugs. They don't sell drugs here. They sell drugs in other places, but they live here. They don't bring that shit here. More power to them. I wouldn't even care if they sold drugs out of their house. It's just the problem that come with selling drugs because drugs are illegal. But there's another house in my neighborhood. I'm fucking convinced it's a drop house. Just by the way things go. What's a drop house? Well, people come in, they drop large quantities of drugs off, they leave. That night, day or two later, somebody else comes back in, they pick up the drugs, they leave the money, and they leave. House is rented in a third party's name. That way, these people, as long as they're not knocked in the 3 minutes that they're there, they're not associated with the house. But if I seen the cops come here and fuck with any of my neighbors, I would be there. I would beeline for it. Well, these fuckers up here, they fight all the time, so they can have their own deal. Anybody else, though, the cops came here and started messing with Al across the street. That dude, I know him. I know he's not out, doing shit. I know people's gonna say, oh, you don't know what people do behind your back. Yeah, I know, I get it. But I know Al well enough to know that there's no reason why the cops should be here messing with him. The lady across the street with a daughter that had a seizure, that helped. I know there's no reason the cops should be messing with him. Ray that just pulled in across the street. There's no reason the cops should be here messing with him. We just want to be left alone for the most part. Ray thinks he deserves reparations, but whatever, it's another conversation. Regardless of that, I would still help him. So why don't we do that in life? Because we're told not to. We're told, like we've talked about it before. We're trained that the police are good. They're your buddies. They're your friends. Government's your friend, right? Government's the only fucking thing. It's like a love-hate relationship, right? Do you think that we should have police? Yes. That's not me talking. I'm talking like I'm a third party. Do you think we should have police? Yes. Do you love the police? No. Do you trust government? No. But you want government to have all the guns and shit, right? You got these bitches running around. They want to control what you can and cannot own. And they didn't know this, but Chris had a gun on him the whole time we were there. That lady was literally 18 inches away from her gun. If she would have reached over and tried to grab his ball, she'd got a handful of Glock 17 or something. And it didn't jump out and kill nobody. But yet they stood there and drank. And am I against drinking and driving? No, I believe anybody should be able to do what they want to do. But it's the hypocrisy in it. Drinking, everybody knows drinking slows your reflexes down. Therefore, they had a better chance of wrecking drinking, especially females. They can't drive anyway. We all know that. They got smaller brains. That's truth. That's a fact. You can go look it up. I'm not being sexist. Females really do have small brains. So they got small heads, small brains. Christy walked out of the room. She's mad now. I'm not calling you a small brain person, baby. You got a square head.
I'm trying to finish this.
You got a square head. You got a big brain. It's like a SpongeBob brain. Square. How's it going, Nick? Bigger ticks than smaller brains? You got big boobs. Did all your boobs go to your brains? Christy at one time had huge boobs, like watermelons. They were like big. But she was bigger at the time, is why. When we got together, Christy was a bigger. How much did you weigh when we got together, baby?
145.
How much?
145.
She says 150. She bullshit. She weighed about 220.
No, I did not.
Oh, your tit weighed 50 pounds.
I've never weighed that in my life.
Baby, I couldn't grab your boobs and get my hand around them.
I've never weighed that in my life.
Your fucking scale lied to you. You had a lying scale. Lying to yourself like that. You believe that shit just like that. Lying to yourself. That's where it starts. If you're going to lie to you, then you're going to lie about everything. Liar. She at least 195. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy living, but if the future is going to be fucked because of these fuck people, we gotta get rid of them. But, I mean, like, dude, it doesn't even take violence. I mean, like, here's the thing with it. When the country was founded, the founders of the country didn't go to war. They're just like, it's like this. They're looking over here at government, and they're like, hey, government. And they turned their back and said, we're going to live our lives. And then government came to fuck with them and forced them to act violently to eliminate that force. I don't like violence, dude. I don't. I hate violence. You know why I hate violence? Because somebody always gets hurt, and it's not the only two people fighting that get hurt. It's somebody else, too. You get into a fight and you hurt somebody, Now their family's involved. Now their family's hurt. Now your fucking family's life. I'm not a violent dude. I don't like violence. I despise it. But you're not going to fuck with me. Or my family. Or my friend's family. Or my neighbor's family. Just leave us alone. You have these pigs that have been indoctrinated that they think that they're doing a good thing. Oh my God, I'm out here serving the community. What, really? That's why everybody's a fucking criminal, right? Because you're so concerned with the community. The community that you police that you don't live in. It should be a law. If we're going to have these assholes called police, oh man. I think I'm getting my neighbor's cease wet. Just called. Oops. Okay, man. If we're going to have these stupid ass gangs called police and you guys are going to fucking support them, okay, let's do it. But make a requirement of each force that the people policing live in that community. That way I know where you live, dickhead. Be my neighbor and be a cop around. Dare you. Dare you. Let's see, if he was my neighbor, he wouldn't mess with me. He'd be a good cop, right? We all know good cops that don't do nothing to us. They don't do nothing to us. So that makes them a good cop. I have this conversation with people all the time. They're too stupid to understand that just because they're good to you doesn't mean they're good to everybody. And if they're not good to one person, if they violate the rights of one, they violate the rights of all. Because they're our rights. They're my rights, but they're our rights. So my rights come before our rights, and our rights are dependent on me fighting for my rights. But if I don't fight for your rights, then I'm going to, through fear, have to stop exercising my rights. It's a bit clusterfuck. But in the end, it's about you hating your kids. It's all y'all. Every one of you guys hate your kids. Because you like government. And we all know what's going to happen. I mean, we see it happen. Dude, these fuckers are calling for vaccines and vaccine passports now. Freest country in the world. You got to show your motherfucking. Who forgot? Did y'all forget the history about that shit? I don't even care about all that other bullshit about what it was for, what it was about, what Hitler was really doing. I don't care. Show me your papers. I mean, that has to be one of the most well-known statements in history. Show me your papers. And these suckers are still buying the bullshit that they're free. You got every faction of government working as hard as it can to fuck up anything joyful about life. The ATF, rare breed triggers. If you couldn't afford a full auto, you can get damn close with the rare breed. Well, let's start back before that. You can get damn close with the bump stock. I know, they're range 12. I get it. But actually, you could become proficient with them with practice like you could anything else. So don't believe that bullshit. So the government takes them away. You can only be rich and have full autos or have something that simulates a full auto. So then you have this other company come out with this trigger. Wasn't marketed right. It didn't sell. It was actually a piece of shit. And then Rare Breed kind of copied the design a little bit, changed it up, and now you have this forced reset trigger, which is within the bounds of thy law. But when government finds out about this, they're like, whoa, wait a second. Wait, man, whoa, slow your fucking roll there. No. You must pay us this money after you spend 20 grand or 10 or 12, or depending on what it is, 7 if you want a Mac 11 or something, to buy a full auto. You can't have it close to that. That rate of fire is too fast. Are they going to cut Mojo's fingers off? That dude shoots almost as fast as a full auto without even having a self-resetting trigger. So now the trigger packs are full autos, right? So you get pulled over and you got your arrow in the back, a local cop pulls it out and he breaks it open, he looks down in there and he sees a drop-in trigger. Guess what that becomes now? To every cop, because they're morons. That is a full auto. Look, it shows it right here. This trigger's a full auto and this is that trigger. Well, no, it's not, officer. That is a different type. No. It doesn't matter the brand. It is this trigger. Yeah, Zoe, listen, man. Zoe, I tell people that all the time. I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and it came down to people with Down syndrome. Do we let people with Down syndrome make their own decisions to shoot heroin and die? Fucking okay, yeah, I guess. No, it's not that simple. I get it. That's where the family comes in. But in the end, if I got Down syndrome, I'm in front of Dad. I'm like, Dad, please, man, I just want to go try some heroin just once. Then that's on me. Because when we dictate what others can do, whether it's for their own good or not, we're holding the door open. And there's some fucker standing behind us with a bunch of force that says, Freedom's got Down syndrome. We can't let him make his own decisions. And now they're changing our vocabulary. They're changing the definition of words. Racist used to mean racist. Racist used to mean I walked up and punched you in the fucking mouth because you were of a different race. Now it means I like chocolate ice cream. Racist. Vanilla is better. Racist. See, I win. It's a winning point. Because their points are so stupid you can't even argue them. Try to talk to these people. Every point they make is so fucking dumb. I literally have to, I'm not the brightest person in the bunch. I'm not. I know I play a genius on YouTube, I know, but I'm really not. This is all scripted. Christy writes it with her big brain, square brain. That used to be her booze, that went to her head. But these people, and there are arguments, just like the dude with suing factories. Mexico sues U.S. factories. Well, we need to sue the factories. They make all the money. I'm like, well, fuck, why stop there? Let's sue the damn employees. They're making all the money. Well, no, they're not. The factories. I was like, yeah, that's why the employees have houses and cars and shit and feed their family, right? Because the company's the only one making money. No, let's not stop there. Let's sue the company they get their materials from. Like, the people are so far gone, they can't even understand that concept. Well, where does it stop? And that's always the problem. It's always the two biggest problems in this country is where does it stop and what's coming next. That's it. What's next? And, I mean, it may take them a while to implement this shit. It may take them a year or 2, 6 months, whatever it is. It might take them 10 years. Fuck, it might even happen in our lifetime. But it's going to happen. And it's because we hate our kids. They've driven a wedge between our families. And we now despise our kids. We love our kids so little that we let it happen. Why? Why? I mean, think at one time there was men that was like, fuck it, we're just going to fight and see what happens. I don't even think they had a real ideal of what was coming to be because, you know, they started out the Articles of Confederation and then went to the Constitution. You had a couple of companies. Is that the cops? No, it's not. They just knew that they didn't want to be ruled over. It's not even about what it was. Was it a 3% tax? Was it about gun confiscation, the threat of confiscation, whatever? None of that shit matters. It just I don't want to be ruled. You're not going to tell me to stick something in my body, and you're not going to take my money that I make. I want to live my life. I mean, our Constitution laid out the perfect plan, as almost, with the exception of the Supreme Court. As long as, number one, it was read and not interpreted, and then number two, the people enforced it. I've read it over 100 times and thought about what goes on in this country, and the only real problems I find with the Constitution, if you read it and don't try to interpret it, you just read it and you understand that the liberty of the people comes before anything, is the Supreme Court. Even Jefferson said there was issues with the Supreme Court. You know, they thought that men would love to be free. But when you know, it's like if you never had bad, how do you know what good is, right? So it's kind of the same thing with that. If you've never believed you were a slave, how do you know what freedom is? Could you imagine? I don't think people could handle real freedom. They love being slaves too much. And they just breed little slaves that we grow to hate. And we let our government control over them. You know, your children's not your child. You don't have a child. Like, they got our... I had a subscriber call me about a month ago, one of my subs. And we got on this kind of similar to this conversation. He said, "Do you know what a kid is?" I was like, "Yeah, I got two of them little rugrats in there. What the hell are you talking about?" He's like, "No, a kid is the offspring of a goat or a sheep." You say sheep? Look it up, baby. Is it sheep? A kid, an offspring of a sheep, or a goat?
A kid?
Yeah,
It's
I think it's a goat too. Anyway. But we call our children kids when they're children. They're not kids, they're children. I do it too. But it's about that normalcy shit. It's confirmation bias combined with normalcy bias. That's what I call it. You know, it's a real thing, but I would say it is. It becomes normal. Brian from High Impact Flicks put up a video yesterday. So there's like 9 people in a room who know what's going on. Okay, so they know what's going on. This lady comes in with no instruction. She sits down. A bell sounds, like an electronic beep. The 9 people stand up, sit right back down. It happens again. Second time, she's kind of looking around like, what's going on? They sit down. The third time, she stood up with them. So this was every few minutes they rang this bell. The people would stand up and sit down, stand up and sit down. But then remember, the first 9 people were in on it. Then this one female had no idea what was going on. She joined in just because everybody else was doing it and started doing it every single time. So now, after she started doing it, every time it would beep, one person would get called to the back. So it started at 9, beep, one person go to the back. 10, beep, they call another name, one person go to the back. So in the end, she was the only person there. And when it beeped, she still stood up. Even though she wasn't told to, she just did it because everybody else was doing it. Now everybody's gone, she's still doing it. But it gets better. After that, a second guy comes in that has no idea what's going on. So everybody, at first, all the beeps up and down with her, left. Another guy comes in who has no clue what's going on. It beeps, she stands up, sits down. When it beeps the second time, she stands up. The guy says, "Why are you standing up?" She said, "I don't know. Everybody else was doing it, and when they called people back, so we just doing it." So they started doing it, both of them. So now, not only did she buy into what was completely false to begin with, the beep, and stood up and sit down because she thought she had to, because everybody else was. Now she's passed that on to a third generation because he was told by her that they needed to do it. It's fucking insane, man, but that's how people's mind works. People can't think. They can't think for themselves. What are you behind, John? Twiggy, I don't disagree, man. Here's the problem. Here's your problem. And this is what everybody fears. Jail and death. You will do as you're told or else. But fuck, I like or else. Me and or else get along just fine. I don't know about you all. I'm full of, I got or else's running all through my veins. But with all this shit going on, what are you going to do? You got to have a passport to go in the store. What are you going to do? See, they're counting on the sheeple that'll stand up just because everybody else is standing up. And they'll sit down because everybody else is sitting down. That's what's happened to our society. It started out with one person being lazy, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it's everybody because we're trained to do it just because, not because of his truth in it or anything, because we see other people doing it. It's become normal. I'm the type of dude, though. When the rules change, I change. I don't want what I feel like is coming. Well, at least coming from me. I don't think it's ever going to come on a large scale because people are just inherently pussies. Yeah, my dad never whipped me when I was growing up. We fought a few times, but I wasn't a pussy. I've been beat up far more times than I've won fights. But regardless, I'll fight. I'll fight for what I believe in. And there's a lot of people that won't. And it's because we hate our kids. When you boil it down, you distill it down to the smallest fucking level, and you get to your kids, that's all you can say. I hate my kids. If you're letting these fuckers bully you around, that's all you can say. So what do you do about it? I'm all for peace and saying, you know what? I want to live my life. Sean Rowe tried that last week. I talked to his wife this morning. They just want to be left alone. Live on their land, go to work, come home, be left alone. We couldn't talk about it in her case because I told her not to talk to me about it because the phone calls were recorded. And they're fucking her. Look what they've done to her. They give her a $50,000 PR bond, so it's personal reconnaissance, so she can leave. But the stipulation of that bond is she has to be in this mental institution for no fucking reason. For no reason. She didn't say she wanted to kill herself or none of that shit. The kicker of it is now she's in jail at this mental institution, right? None of that time counts because she's out on bond. I told her, I said, if I was you, here's what I would do. I'm not you, but this is what I would do. I'd call my attorney and say, you want to revoke the bond now. That way they'll put you back in jail and your time will keep counting. They can keep you on the mental ward and still have you in custody. They don't want to do that though because then time counts. And when time counts and you're in jail, they only have so many days. So in Ohio, they have I think it's nationwide, they have 270 days to take you to trial for a felony in Ohio. If you're in jail, you get counted as 3-for-1s. So that reduces that to 90 days. They have to take you to trial. So I told her to try to get back in jail, as dumb as it sounds, and rush to them. Then if the day comes for trial and they're ready for trial, she'll know. And then at that point, you drag it out. I told her how to get a paid attorney, and force the state to pay for it. What do you do? She's sitting up there by herself. And we can blame the cops, we can point at government and all that shit. The truth is it's because of us. Because we're fucking cowards that hate our kids. We don't want to get involved because we're worried about what's going to happen to us. But if all of us got involved, nothing would happen to us. I mean, I mean, people keep drawing lines and shaking their mobile sandboxes and shit. It absolutely blows my mind. Like, I have a line, and it was crossed a long time ago. And I said, if you go back and look, I'm like, you know what? I'm just waiting for them to come now. That's all it's about. Just waiting for them to come. And there ain't no more lines to draw. I'm done fucking with you people. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to be left alone. I don't want no problems, but can get you some. And they will. And they'll kill me. But I'm cool with that. I'm completely cool with it. I have no problems with it. Well, what about your kids then? If you're not alive, that's really going to help your kids, ain't it? Well, you know what? Some things, principles come before all else, I think. And what are we teaching our kids if we're teaching that every time there's a threat to bow down? You teach your kid to get punched in the mouth at school and go tell his teacher? I didn't teach my kids that shit. I actually taught my kids to punch people in the mouth first. When you see that there's going to be a problem that you're not going to be able to walk away from for whatever reason, might as well go ahead and get that first hit in. Person who hits first usually wins. Unless you're me, then you get beat up. Oh, there it is. Oh shit, I was looking for this little thing for this post and light. But anyway, I don't know. I was just thinking about that a minute ago and figured I'd share it with y'all. Share with you all how y'all hate your kids and shit. And what do we do about it? Oh fuck, baby, we can go down. It's the time.
Monday. Nope, it's 7.
See what y'all did? I was thinking so hard and shit about your kids, about how much you hate your kids. Now I forgot to go to UPS. Some bitch.
They may be open tomorrow. I don't know, but it said Monday through Friday.
No place has constitutional carry. There's laws against carrying a firearm everywhere. I don't care what they lie and tell you. Do your 6-year-old rocks, Faith? Yeah, no shit, Zoe. I've lost more than I've won by far. But I've been in some pretty dumb fights. Like, dumb. You know, being dumb. One dude pissed me off, and then, like, I know I gotta fight him and all 6 of his friends. I'm like, fuck it, let's go. I didn't have to fight no more after that. I'm using the system just for that's kind of like horizontal. Yeah, I don't disagree. I agree. I won't let fear control me. I'll use the system to benefit myself until shit say. Yeah, Jeff, I used to be against that. You know, if you go back and look, a year ago, I was all 2 years ago, I was against welfare and all that shit. Now I'm just like, fuck it, get what you can get. Like, we haven't used it. We could have been on like every welfare program there is since I've been off work, and we haven't used it. I don't feel right about you being extorted in order for me to survive. It just doesn't sit well. Just me though. I'm not saying that everybody should do what I do, but incubators are young. Damn Chrome Crushers, that's funny. You understand what I mean. You guys know I don't mean that you actually hate your kids. As a society, though, we hate our children because of what we're leaving for them, which is going to be fucking nothing by the time it's over. We're going to go down as the generation of men and hit the shit stain in history who lost the illusion of freedom forever. No, we'll go down as the shit stain in history who lost freedom forever because people are too freaking stupid. Yeah, shit, you paid it, get it back. Go ahead. She calls the son of a bitch too. My mom, dude, I don't remember like my mom a lot when I was a kid. I was with my dad all the time. Oh yeah, what they're clearing good around. Yeah, government's fucked, man. It's coming. Like all this shit. Hopefully, people wake up. You know, like especially with all this. They're talking about this passport shit. Tell me I can't go somewhere. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the same thing when they said that I couldn't come out in Ohio. The first night I went out and drove around just because. You're not going to tell me what I cannot do or can do or whatever. I don't care. Save life, logic, and all the rest. Yeah, it's retarded, man. It's totally retarded. If I came for my kids, what would I do? Are you asking me, Twiggy? If they're coming for my kids, they better kiss their kids and hug them tight in the morning and draw straws on their way over here. Be the best advice I could give them. Oh, shit. Well, I got to get back to work, guys. I got to get to work on this house. I got to get all the shit up in the attic. Oh, they're coming to kill me. It's just a matter of time. I figured I would already been dead. I thought I was going to be dead by January 1st. Yeah, I did too. I went out and drove around. I mean, just like now, I called and made an appointment today for this thing on my face, right? It's a cyst, but it's growing and it's affecting my eyesight, so I can see it now out of this eye. Like, not a lot, but I can see it. I noticed the difference. So I called a lady and she's like, well, you canceled your last appointment for whatever reason because you wouldn't wear a mask. She's like, everybody mandates wearing a mask now. I said, well, I have an exemption from the very fucking doctor's office I'm calling. She's like, well, I don't think that matters. I said, so what you're telling me is if I roll it in a wheelchair and they say that I have to get up and walk, I have to get up and walk. She's like, well, that's different. I'm like, no, it's not different. There's no difference in it. You just can't think about it. I said, but here's what's going to happen. They're going to take me, or I'm cutting this shit out of my head myself. Or I'll have somebody do it. I might have somebody do it this weekend. No bullshit. Uh, and then when I leak out and die, you're responsible. No, I won't leak out and die. It's too small. We can cauterize it if we have to. It'll be all right. Who wants to do it? Who wants to cut this out? Anybody? I'll let you. It's hard, but you have to get the whole thing out. I'm ready, Greg. Like, I'm not being funny at all. I don't mind. There's a such thing as operating on yourself at home. It's called redneck medicine. If you have a problem that you can take care of, you take care of it. I mean, cutting that out myself, shit, that'd probably save a couple grand. Let's do it. You're cool, man. Yeah, give me a call later. Could be fun. I don't know. We'll try it if you want. Travis, I'll let y'all do it. I ain't scared. Just bring some ice. When anything having to do with your skin, from your skin outwardly, so actually inside of your skin and to the outside, like ice will numb it, and you can pretty much do whatever you want and not feel it until after the fact. I know a dentist in California who will do work if your woman shows him her no shit or cheating. No shit. I don't drink, Greg. It's the problem there. I tried. I drank about that much of that glass of Jack I had Christy pour me that night. I literally took 2 sips of it. It's not my thing anymore, man. I'm not 18 no more. But I gotta jump off here. I got a lot of stuff to get in the attic. I got the chain on the 4-wheeler last night. The old chain. Listen, man, that thing was oh my god, it was terrible. But look at this chain. This thing is like a damn. It's a 520, and it's for this 4-wheeler. It doesn't hit the cases or anything, but it's a monster ass chain compared to what was on it. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's a monster ass chain. But I forgot to order rollers, So I had to just order 2 rollers. I'll probably take them off the Banshee in the morning and put them on this because the boys are going to be riding it on Sunday. But we need to work on the pipe and stuff. I want to do all that when we get back Sunday. So it's a little bastard fast. I'm really considering selling the Banshee.
You are?
Yeah.
What's Trading gonna say?
He's gonna be mad. But he can have this one.
But he don't like that one because it's smaller.
What?
I'm asking, does he not like that one because it's smaller?
I mean, the Banshee's way faster.
Yeah.
But he'll get hurt on it.
Well, then he don't like to have it.
Well, I mean, I don't care if he gets hurt on it. I just want him to know he's going to get hurt on it.
Well, no, he ain't going to respect it.
Yeah,
Ahead of time, he's going to get hurt.
Well, you're not going to respect it until you get hurt on it. That's the thing. You got to get hurt on it to respect it. That's why when Silas wrecked, I was like, yes, 1 down. That was the funniest shit. Dude, I wish to God I could have had that on film.
Me too.
Silas like Superman. Wrecking the four. Funniest shit. It was funny. I looked at her, I swear, he hit that thing, went sideways, hit that log, and Fuller went up and flipped in the air. And he literally Superman, but he disappeared because of the grass back there. I thought he landed in the creek. And he landed right next to the creek. I was like, huh, you feel better now?
He wanted something to be wrong with him so bad, Daddy.
I know he did.
You know it?
Yeah, I know.
He did.
This thing needs
He kept telling me.
This thing needs a brake light on it for him.
James T says, have a nice weekend.
Yeah, y'all have a good weekend too, man. I want to jump off here and
pick a hole in it and put raw honey on it. It will draw it out.
What? Dremel. Make it awesome. Yeah. No, it's a cyst. So if it's a cyst, it has a sac that it grows in, and you got to get the sac out and everything. It's not a pimple or nothing. I mean, like, trust me, I tried it when I first figured out what it was. Like, I stabbed it and tried to squeeze shit out of it. It's a solid mass.
It's a cyst.
See, I mean, like, it's solid. Or squeeze it as hard as I can.
I just hope it's not. Don't do that. I just hope it's not like
cancerous.
Yeah.
Would you love me if I lost my nose, my eyes?
Mhm.
Would you wipe my butt?
Mhm. Why would I have to wipe your butt?
Because I couldn't see. What if I didn't know?
You don't need to see to wipe your butt. You can't see to wipe your butt right now.
What if I didn't know if it was clean?
Well, you have eyes.
What if I couldn't see? I said, what if I couldn't see?
But why would you not be able to see?
Because I don't have eyes.
Why don't you have eyes?
Because I lost one because of fucking cyst.
Oh, lost your nose and your eyes, right? I was thinking just your nose. Sorry, I'm tired. I haven't slept.
Yeah, mine don't go away at all. Yeah, I know. We're going to birth it like an alien. I think we're probably going to do it Sunday. We're going to cut that fucker right out. I ain't scared at all. But I want to go, guys. I got shit to do. I got to move all the shit out of here and get up in the attic. And total pain in the ass. It's hot up there. I don't even want to do this shit.
No, get side. Oh,
I might wait till it cools down a little.
Yeah, wait till it does cool down.
Because it's burnt up. I got to go move my backyard because my kids don't like
that's silent. That's Traden's job.
Yep, that's my kid's job. All right, I'm going to go get my kids on this and tell what do you want me to do, wife? Watch you do all the work? Huh?
Whatever.
Can we start the foolers up and just let's sit there and huff 2-stroke exhaust?
Nah.
Okay. All right, I got to run, y'all. You guys have a good day. Yeah, I got stuck in a rock. Take care of yourself. Don't hate your kids. Stand up. Just say no. I'm not doing it. I don't need violence, but I will not let you fucking harm me or my kids. That's all it would take. That's all it would take. And stealing from you is harming you. So no more extortion, no more racketeering, no more mob rule, none of that bullshit. Got to get it together. I mean, like, we're losing ground fast.